Welcome to Manifested Publishers.
Hello learners, my name is Stephen Kariongi and we continue with our topic of discussion. The topic is classification 2. So now I'd like us to discuss one of the classes in the phylum Chordata, and this is class Amphibia. So in the class Amphibia, we basically have the amphibians, and these amphibians include the frogs, the toads, the newts, and the salamanders. And among the characteristics that they have is that for the frogs, they have a moist skin, but for the toads, their skin is a bit rough because of the presence of the warts. Another characteristic that is found in the members of class Amphibia is that they have 4 limbs, of which the hind limbs or the back legs, they are longer and stronger because they are modified for jumping. So they are slightly larger than the 4 limbs, and that's because they are modified for jumping from one point to the other during locomotion. The amphibians, they have 2 eyes. They have 2 eyes, and they also have an eardrum. They also have an eardrum, though they do not have an external ear. So they don't have a visible external ear, but they have an eardrum which connects with their internal nervous system. So we are saying that examples include frogs, we have toads, we have newts, and salamanders. So let's look at the characteristics of the class Amphibia. One is that they have a soft, moist skin. Can change that a bit so that we don't generalize. You can say that most have a soft, moist skin, e.g. the frogs. On the other hand, toads have a rough skin. They have 2 eyes. And an eardrum. They have 4 limbs, and of these 4 limbs, we are saying that the hind limbs are longer and more muscular for jumping. They have webbed feet. All those are in terms of their physical appearances or the external features, and mainly these are the ones that we use for identification. The features that we can be able to to see. In terms of the internal features, they have a 3-chambered heart, made of 2 atria and 1 ventricle. They have a 3-chambered heart made of 2 atria. Atria is the plural of atrium. So when there are 2, they are atria. When it is 1, it's the atrium. And there is 1 ventricle. So those are the parts of the heart that are responsible for pumping blood. So gaseous exchange is through the skin, mouth, also known as buccal cavity, and lungs. So they have 3 modes of gaseous exchange. That is the skin, the mouth, which is also known as the buccal cavity, and also the lungs. And the reason for that is because they are found in both aquatic habitats and also in terrestrial habitats. Aquatic habitats are habitats in water, either fresh water or marine, and terrestrial habitats are on land. And that takes us to the next point. They are both aquatic and terrestrial, i.e. found in water and on land. And still on the same, we can say that fertilization occurs in water and is done externally. So they have what we call the external fertilization, whereby the eggs are laid by the female, and then the male comes and sheds the sperms onto those eggs as they are being laid. So fertilization is in water and is done externally. Amphibians are ectothermic. We have explained the term ectothermic. Just like the fish, also known as poikilothermic. So we are going to have an assignment based on the class Amphibia. So the first question in the assignment, draw a well-labeled diagram of a toad, of course showing the various parts that we have mentioned, especially the external ones. Give 3 examples of members of class Amphibia. We say that taxonomic names should start with a capital letter. And then state 4 distinguishing features of class Amphibia. So that marks the end of class Amphibia. We'll continue with the next class during the next lesson. Goodbye.